let me tell you what got me and thousands of other guys into trucking in the first place. Number one was the money. It was really good money back in the day. I could take a 42-foot long, 96-inch wide reefer, put 10 grand worth of freight on it, go to the coast, unload, take a couple days off, work on my tan, come back, and the whole round would pay me damn near 20 grand. And fuel back then averaged around 80 cents a gallon, some places as low as 77 cents a gallon. Like Wyoming, for instance, I had 180 gallon tanks each side. I could damn near go do the whole round on a trip on a couple of tanks of fuel. We were making money hand over fist. You could be stupid in business and still have money in the bank back then. The money was great. Number two is the freedom. You could just go when you wanted, where you wanted, and make money at it. If you had the urge to go see the Northwest, you could time it right. You could run out there, pedal some LTL, pick up a load of cherries, paying 7 or 8 US, and head on home. The freedom of it was great. You could run anywhere on that West Coast and make money. You could even make money back running in Florida back then. Not so much anymore, but the freedom of the job was really nice. The equipment. The equipment was great. It was like a non-stop truck show back then. No matter where you went, you were running I-80, I-40, I-10 and 20 down there. All you saw was stainless and chrome and big long hood trucks. It was a truck show every day. You could roll into Bakersfield or Ontario, California at night. It was just, the whole parking lot would be full of fancy chrome trucks, stainless trailers, beautiful, beautiful equipment, all polished up, big engines in them. I love the equipment. That was one of the reasons I drove the big trucks, was I just loved the equipment, loved to drive something so clean and cool and big and long. It was like a 48-foot hot rod. They were great. Even the company guys back then had really nice equipment. So, you know, that was a big attraction back then, to running the coast and just trucking. The equipment was so much nicer. The scheduling was great because you made your own schedule up. It wasn't not any of this just-in-time freight. Back then, if it was dry freight, you got there when you got there. The only guys that you were in a rush for were the produce guys when you're loading home. But you could put on a load of LTL, just kind of pedal it as you got there. There was no rush. They just wanted it there in one piece. That was the goal. You could just pedal your way out to LA with LTL, take a couple days off, work on your tan, load produce, make big money on the produce, and charge home. So the scheduling was really nice. You could pick your own schedule. And you know what, there were no e-logs back then either. So if you could run 16, 17 hours a day if the weather was good, that's what we did. If you were tired a little bit, you could take a day and rest. It all worked out in the wash. There was no one telling you when to stop, when to go. You picked your own schedule. That was huge. You know what? It was a good job. You could support your family. You could support the nice equipment. You could put money in the bank. You could take a vacation. The money was there back then. And all these things attracted us into trucking. And it was great. Look at the situation these days, though. Look at the way it's gone now. You're lucky if you get $3,500 going to the coast. There is no freedom because someone's monitoring you through your ELD every day, wanting to know why you stopped, why you haven't made better progress. Look at the equipment. It's all plastic trucks and 53-foot trailers. Some of the stuff's so damn ugly you're embarrassed to be seen getting out of it. There's no cool equipment anymore. The schedule these days, you don't pick the schedule. They tell you what your schedule is going to be. Hell, I've heard of company guys even being told what way to go and where to fuel and stuff like that. Like, holy God, talk about micromanage. None of that back then. You just did your own thing. And these days, you couldn't even really class it as a good job. You're a blue-collar worker. A lot of the guys are making like 30 to 40 grand a year these days with the cost of living. That's you know, bottom dollar wages these days. You want to talk driver shortage? There was no driver shortage back then. The money was good, the working conditions were great, we were all making huge money and driving gorgeous equipment, and that's why there was no driver shortage. These days they want you to drive crap equipment, look like a fool, and make no money. That's what's brought on the driver shortage. We weren't treated like crap back then because we just wouldn't put up with it, and that was the bottom line. So the whole industry has changed. That's the story of what got me into trucking and what got me out of it too. So that's how trucking has evolved through my generation, to the point where we're not interested, guys like me aren't interested in doing it anymore, because everything that got us into it is now gone. It's left the industry. So much for me whining. I'm not whining though. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the way it is and the way it was. And you can see the difference and judge it for yourself. It was a super good job back in the day. Everybody likes a story. Let me tell you a story. I was running for this little outfit a while back, quite a while back now when I think about it. I had just come in from someplace. I was tired, I was beat, we ran hard, and I needed a little bit of sleep, and I walked into the dispatch office, handed in my paperwork, took a glance at the board, at the load board, and saw that they haven't covered this load to Woodstock. Now, I was based out of Toronto back then, and Woodstock was something like 90 miles away, and they had this little joke run of auto parts that they used to use as filler, and it paid crap, because as it turned out, and I tried it once to see, but you'd run like 90 miles to this GM plant in Woodstock, sit 6 hours while they unloaded you and reloaded you, and run back 90 miles and make, 180 miles times whatever the mileage rate was. It didn't work out to squat when you figured out how long it took. You made enough money to buy a pizza at the end of the day, basically. So anyway, I took a glance at the dispatch board, saw the rookie dispatcher hadn't covered this load yet, and I thought, well, I know that's still available, but it sure won't be me. So I was beat. So I went around back of the building, shut off the truck, opened the vents, and went to sleep. And I was just getting hot in the truck after a couple hours. I was thinking about firing it up, turning on the air conditioning. Sure enough, I hear bang, bang, bang on the side of the bunk. It's the dispatcher. He's forgotten to cover that Woodstock load. Now he's looking for me to cover the load. He's seen my truck behind the building. He's thinking he'll wake me up. I've had about an hour and a half sleep. He's thinking he'll wake me up and make me do this Woodstock run that pays no money. Well, I didn't want to do it. I was tired and didn't pay anything. So I hid in the truck. I never moved. Bang, bang, bang. And this went on for about 10 or 15 minutes. Now, I had wanted to start the truck because I was getting hot in there. But I didn't want to start the truck now because he would know that I was in the truck. So I just lay there and waited for him to go away. And after about a half hour, he went away. But I still couldn't start the truck because I didn't want him to know that I was there. So I lay there and sweated for about 6 hours just so he'd think I'd been picked up by a buddy and gone shopping or something like that. It was the most miserable day. It must have got up to about 90 in that bunk, but I never did do the run, but I never did get any rest either. It was too hot in the damn truck. So I don't know who covered the Woodstock, but it wasn't me. Anyway, take care, boys. Keep the rubber side down. I'll see you on the back haul.
Help you out at all, but appreciate the info. Thank you, sir. Take care. Safe ride.
The trucking industry has its problems, like every industry, like every job. There's nothing perfect. Still, in spite of it all, this is the job that I want to do the rest of my life.